Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day and that you're doing something you love. Today I wanted to address one of the most common questions I've gotten on the channel, and something that I think should be addressed for anybody who's kind of new to the Garrett AT Pro and relic hunting. And I know a lot of people have just recently gotten Garrett AT Pros for Christmas and with the bonus package that was going on. And I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys how I set up the Garrett AT Pro when I'm relic hunting and tell you why. So with that said, let's get right into it. Before you get started with your Garrett AT Pro, make sure and read through the instruction manual very thoroughly. Understand what all of the buttons do on your machine and how to ground balance your machine. I'm not going to go into all of that today. I'm just going to simply show you the settings I use and tell you why. But you should have a thorough understanding of your machine through reading the manual that comes with the machine. So learn that first so that you can understand some of the nomenclature of what I'm talking about. Alright, let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, of course, is turn on the machine. And for any of you guys who have been hunting in standard mode or STD mode, go ahead and take it out of that. And you're going to do that by pushing the mode button several times. I push it until I get into Pro Zero mode. And it'll say Pro up here and Zero right here. And from there I will turn the iron discrimination. If I'm hunting in the water, I generally will only turn it up to about 5. So that I can hear all of the iron in the water. But if I'm relic hunting, I will turn it up to about 15. Now the Garrett AT Pro will go up to 40 on the discrimination, but you don't want to turn it up that high, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But this is pretty much my settings. Now I have the sensitivity down pretty low because I'm in the house. I may be able to crank that up a little higher, but you hear some interference because I'm in my house. So we'll go ahead and turn that back down just for clarity of this video. But usually I'll run that sensitivity as high as I can without any interference. And that is basically my settings. Nothing is notched out. Iron discrimination's at 15 in Pro Zero mode. With that said, let's test some targets in this mode, and then we'll go back and look at them in standard mode, and I'll show you why. And I'll show you also why with the discrimination. Okay, first let's test these targets as the machine turns on in standard mode. This is how the machine pretty much turns on when you turn it on out of the box. And let's go ahead and test some of these relics in this mode, and you'll quickly understand why I do not hunt in this mode. Let's start with this little rake. It's a hand-forged rake. It's very old. I suspect it to be colonial. I found it in colonial area. Let's wave it in front of this set with standard mode. No signal. That's no good. No relic for you. Here is a US Eagle button from the American Civil War, with the Garrett AT Pro set in the standard turn it on out of the box mode. No signal. No bueno. Now, here's a Civil War mini ball, and I suspect this will signal. But let's listen to how it signals. Hear how it just cuts in and out? There's no real idea of how deep that signal is by the sound. It's the same sound if it's out here or up here. Just a slight difference. Now here's this nice button that I found at the button mine. It's going to give a ding like a bell tone. Again, this doesn't matter if it's way out here or if it's up close. Same tone. You can't tell how deep that is. You can just tell that you might ought to dig it. How about a piece of a Civil War artillery shell in standard mode? Nothing. That's no bueno. No relic. Now let's go ahead and switch it over to Pro Zero mode and set it with the settings I use and listen to each of these relics and the differences in the modes. Alright, we now have the machine set in Pro Zero mode with nothing notched out and with the iron discrimination set at 15. So let's try this rake, this hand-forged rake again, and hear what the machine is telling us now. You hear that deep tone is iron. And we can tell out here it's kind of far away. Up here I can tell it's really close. So I'm not only being able to tell that there's a metal in there that's iron that I might want to dig up, I can also tell the proximity of that iron to the coil. Instead of just the same kind of signal no matter where I am, I can tell proximity. How about that Civil War Eagle button? What's it going to sound like? Hear how it's a faint signal out here? I move in closer. It gets stronger. So you can tell the proximity of the target, and you're going to find that Civil War button. How about the mini ball? I think we're going to have the same result here. Far away, close. You can tell the proximity of the target to the coil. A very useful tool when you're relic hunting. How about this button from the button mine? Light signal, deep, closer. Okay, so like I said, you can tell not only what type of target you're going to hear, but you can tell the depth of the target by the tone, and you can also sometimes tell the composition of the target, as is the case with the Civil War artillery shell, which you did not hear at all in standard mode. Now I can tell it's a big piece of iron that I might want to investigate. Okay guys, so as you can see, having the machine set properly can mean the difference between finding relics and not finding any relics. So set your machine properly, you'll start to have a lot more success. Throw it in Pro Zero mode, drop that discrimination, the iron discrimination, as low as you can, down to 15, even lower if you can. And there are some sites where you might have to raise it up a little bit. But keep it as low as you can, run the sensitivity as high as you can tolerate it. You'll have a lot more success finding relics. And I think this is going to afford you the most clues about what's in the ground. You're going to hear every signal in the ground, and it's going to allow you to make the decision as to whether or not to dig or not. Your brain is a lot smarter than this computer, so use it. And that's why I love machines like the Nautilus, because I hear so much audio information coming through the machine and letting me know what's in the ground. So give this a shot if you haven't already when you're out relic hunting. I think you'll have some more success. Good luck, happy hunting, see you tomorrow.